We are living in time when people don't know who they are anymore. We are lost in our ideas, in purpose. We are confused. We don't know who we are anymore. We don't understand our value. That's why we're struggling with such a huge number of aborted children. First thing, that people are lost in their own values. What is your value as a human? Because a person, yeah? So first thing that we need to understand, what is human being? What is a man? What is a woman? Yeah. What is your value in this world? Yeah. So without God, we will never understand ourselves. We will never understand our purpose. We can imagine something, in our heads, but still, only with God, we will understand our true value, our purpose, and what we are doing here in this world. So for what you are created for, right? So in Genesis 1:27 says that God created man in his own image. So that means your value is not something that you earn. It's something that given to you by God. So we are here to have relationship with God, to carry his light, to be the evidence of his light. So you were created for God, by God, and without him you will never understand your purpose. You will never fully understand yourself. God has given us animals. God gave us dominion over the fish of the sea, over all the livestock. God gave us dominion over this earth. Do whatever you want, right? So God gave us purpose. God gave us free will. We cannot create destructions. We cannot create chaos. Do not make your body an altar for the devil. In Jeremiah 1:5 it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." And in Psalm 139 we hear these words, "You created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made." And this is why this topic matters so deeply, because when a person does not understand their own value, it becomes harder to recognize the value of life itself. When you understand who you are in God, you will never again treat life, your own or someone else's, as something disposable. Right? So a society that forgets where life comes from will start deciding which lives matter. This is actually the logic of Hitler. Hitler himself can decide who can live, which life matters, and which life doesn't matter. This is the way that we are thinking. If I'm for example, pro-abortionist, someone who thinks that abortion is right, and at the same time I say that Hitler is a killer, I'm going to be a hypocrite. Because this is the same thing. Christ himself showed us what true love looks like. He felt the weight of suffering. In the garden he prayed, "If it is possible, let this cup pass from me." He experienced a real human pain, yet he chose obedience. So he did not come down from the cross, even though he could have. So he gave himself completely. At the Last Supper, he said, "This is my body given for you." And today we hear a different message from this world. So we hear, "My body, my choice." He said, "I give myself for you. I give my body to you, for you to have life." This is the example that we need to use in our lives today. People, wake up. Wake up. Christ himself, the God himself, who acts humble, so humble. No one among us can even imagine how humble this is. My own happiness is above someone's life. Then life is not meaningless, it is not disposable, it is sacred. This is the value. This is the value. So the question is not only what can I do, the deeper question is what is life worth? And the cross gives us answer. Life is worth everything because God was willing to give everything for it. So what I said before, as I said, do not make your body an altar for the devil. So what does it mean? In the ancient world, especially among the Canaanites and Phoenician cultures, there's strong historical evidence that children were at times sacrificed to deities like Moloch and Baal. So simply Baal. So the devil. It doesn't really matter who you worship, like all the pagan religions are from the devil. But what can you say? Yeah, in Leviticus 18:21, God commands Israel not to give their children to Molech. Yeah, so in Jeremiah 7:31, it says, people burned their sons and daughters in the fire, and God responds with something striking. This is something I never commanded, nor did it enter my mind. Human sacrifice, is it right or wrong? Of course, this is wrong. Yeah, so that's why subjective morality sucks today, right? Why? For what reason? Why would they do this? Why would they sacrifice their children in the ancient world? Not just to bring attention from the high power, but actually people believed sacrifice could bring good harvests, wealth, national stability, victory in wars. Yeah, so now tell me, please, what is the difference between what people did in the ancient world and today, let's call it abortion? What's the difference? Abortion is the same human sacrifice. We destroy another life because we are not ready. Financially, personally, we are avoiding hardship. 73 million of children are aborted in 1 year. And this is not the reason, it's not because of medical reasons. This is just because people don't want child. They had fears. People had fears, and they gave something costly, something valuable, because something worse will happen. Yeah, so they had this thing that, well, the fear-driven religion. Was a fear-driven religion. There's going to be a national stability, good harvest. So simply saying people did this out of survival. They wanted to do this out of survival. If you're an atheist, tell me from your point as an atheist in the comments, what makes someone a person? What does human life gain? When does human life gain a moral value? And is it ever justified to end that life for the sake of convenience, stability, or future plans? This is actually the most important question. Why does location or dependency determine whether that life can be ended? I hope that I will make another video on my YouTube channel about this topic. But still, we truly, at this point, if we remember for a second that I want to change my life, I don't want to think this way anymore. I know that I've done some things in the past, for example, and I'm afraid to come to God after what I've done. No, you should not be. No one should. No one should be afraid to come to God, because this is more scary, and not to come to God and die with all those things that happened before, without repenting, without never truly repenting to God, never truly choosing God, dying and ending up in hell, and just simply ending up destroyed, instead of just simply coming to God and say, God, please forgive me for things that I have done, because they are horrible things. Those things are horrible things that I've done. Everyone has betrayed God, all of us. And of course, if we truly seek God, God is going to forgive us, because God is good. God is amazing. God is perfect, and we are not. That's why we seek God. We seek God. We seek relationship with Him. We seek His forgiveness. We seek His kingdom. Yeah, it doesn't really matter who you were in the past. Today may be the day for you to turn to Him. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. And I hope you're going to have a wonderful day. Please consider this. Christ is risen. Bye.